This is Geometry Lesson 2.3, and in this lesson we're going to talk about special quadrilaterals, also known as our four-sided polygons. The first definition is a trapezoid. So I'm going to draw it first. A trapezoid looks like that. And it is defined as having one set of parallel sides. Our next one is a kite, and I'm going to draw it sideways from how you might normally think of it, just to get it to fit in that box a little nicer. But we would have congruent sides here and congruent sides here. So a quadrilateral with two sets of adjacent congruent sides. And so that adjacent means that these sides are right next to each other as opposed to across from each other. And then remember, congruent means that they have the same length. Our next word is parallelogram. A parallelogram looks like that, where we would have parallel on the top and the bottom, just like with a trapezoid, but also parallel on the sides. So a quadrilateral with two sets of parallel sides. Moving forward, my next three words are actually all special parallelograms. So it would start the same as my parallelogram, where it has the parallel sides, but it's special because all four sides are also congruent. A much easier way to say this might be an equilateral parallelogram, but I have the four congruent sides written out rather than just writing the word equilateral. So rectangle, again, is a parallelogram. That looks horrible. Okay. So still a parallelogram, but also equiangular. And so my last one is, again, a parallelogram. I have two sets of opposite parallel sides. And it's also a rhombus, so I have four congruent sides, but it's also a rectangle, so I have four congruent angles. We always think of a square as the simplest of the shapes, but it's technically the most complicated because it has the most kind of going on for it. So I could call it an equilateral quadrilateral. I could call it an equiangular quadrilateral. I can call it a regular quadrilateral, but I'm going to list all the pieces of it. So it's a parallelogram with four congruent angles and four congruent sides. Okay, I got two examples down there, and kind of the same as on the triangles. We're going to sketch, mark, and label exactly what it tells me to do. So I have a trapezoid. We'll start with that trapezoid. Okay, sketched. We need to mark it so that TR and AP are parallel. So TR, AP, notice I went around, I didn't zigzag, but they are parallel, and TP and RA are congruent. Sketched, marked, and labeled. So, letter B says equilateral, quadrilateral, RMBS. So I need a quadrilateral that is equilateral. That means I have 4 congruent sides. And I have RMBS. Again, I didn't zigzag. I went around clockwise to hit all 4 vertices. Okay, that is it for the notes on this lesson. You should be able to continue on to the exercises, and please let me know if you have any questions.